What's up, yo? It's PH, formerly Pumpkinhead. We grew up in that era of, boom boxes and stuff like that. So everybody was always outside playing music. In my household, I grew up in a Spanish household, so there wasn't hip hop playing like that because I had no older siblings. It was just like grandmothers, grandfathers, mothers, and me. You know what I'm saying? And basically, kids would be playing the hip hop outside, and I go outside to go play, with my friends or whatever. And I heard, what was the first record I heard? I believe it was either Daha, Rapping Duke. I think it was that one. And I was just like, wow, because I knew who, John Wayne was, you know what I'm saying? And then to hear this record called The Rapping Duke and Daha, I was like, oh, snap, like, what is this, So that opened my eyes to, like, rapping. And then, Sugar Hill Gang and all that stuff came, that I was listening to and catching up on all the older stuff. And my boys on the block breakdancing, pulling out cardboards. Then I got into breakdancing. I was breakdancing for a little bit. And it was just block stuff, blocks battling blocks with the breakdancing. So, like, once I got a taste of hip hop, that little taste of it, I definitely wanted to continue going in that route, but I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. And then when I got into, school and stuff and language arts class and writing poetry is when I started wanting to rap, actually. When I was battling Breeze Ever Flowing for the Blaze battle, and we were battling at Tramps, I believe, in New York City. That's an old venue that shut down already years. So Grandmaster Caz and Dougie Fresh were hosting it. Now, we battled 3 rounds, which was the standard for a Blaze battle, 3 rounds. They loved the battle so much, like the crowd was yelling, it was like deafening, like cheering. And then you had Grandmaster Caz and Dougie Fresh were really hyped. And so what happened was basically Dougie Fresh was like, you guys want to see another round? Yelling out to the crowd. Everybody was like, yeah, we want to see another round. And I lost that battle. I wound up losing that battle. But before I got off stage, Dougie Fresh came up to me and was like, yo, you were really ill. You are one of the nicest that I've seen this whole competition. When he told me that, he'll probably, if he sees this interview, he probably won't remember, but he told me that. Dougie, you told me that. I was just like, wow, because here goes a guy that, being, brown skin growing up, and I had curly hair, and when I wet my hair, it got stupid curly, and he was doing his videos like rising to the top and stuff, and he would do the dance and put his hand over his head like this. I used to copy that when I was a kid. And I used to tell girls that I was Dougie Fresh's little brother. That's how I used to get chicks back in the day. I swear on everything. And, like just having an icon that I looked up to come up to me and give me that love, it was like one of my like all-time standout moments of my life. If you rapped, you were in the village. Everybody went to the village, to West 4th, walking around Washington Square Park, kids smoking their little weed and stuff like that in there, Jamaicans trying to sell us weed, but everybody ciphering. You would catch Supernatural, the Bush Babies, might even catch somebody from Leaders of the New School or whoever have you on any given day, Tribe Called Quest in Washington Square Park. So like everybody would go there and there'd be thousands of ciphers, man. I'm exaggerating, of course, but a lot of ciphers going on. And that's what we did. Like basically going to the village every weekend. We would go rap in the streets in front of like venues, and people would kick us out the front of the venues and stuff like that. And then it elevated from there to doing open mics, to doing actual shows and getting booked. And it's just about pushing yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just sit at home and expect, like people to have familiarity with you. I'm getting tongue tied. If you're gonna just sit at home and watch fucking Walking Dead all day. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get the fuck up, get out and do something. At first, like my mom's being, a hardworking single mother, you know what I'm saying, was like, oh, hell no, you're not going to be out here in the street with these thugs rapping. And like her outlook on it was NWA, like, niggas with attitudes type shit. And, not the positive stuff, but I opened the eyes when I let her, hear some like Brand Nubian stuff and, more positive driven hip hop, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, and what have you. So then at that point, she was more like, okay, maybe, just keep your lyrics positive. Don't curse a lot, which I did anyway. But the defining moment, I think, when she was like, okay, you're just going to do you regardless, is when I was managed by Grand Puba's cousin, Jay Dixon. He was managing me. I was like 17 years old, and he was bringing me to like these big shows and introducing me to people. That's how I met Tupac, was through him. And, like just being around all these stars at that age, it was just like, whoa, Mom, I really take this serious. I took, this is who I met today. Like, and it was real stuff, you know what I'm saying? And so she was just like, she saw the inspiration that I had, and the drive. And, she was just like, go ahead, you're just going to do you. I dropped out of art school to do this music shit. So my favorite tour memory is got to be me performing in DC. I was on tour with Boot Camp Click, and it was just me opening up for Boot Camp Click every show. And so what happened was we had a show in DC, and I'm opening up for them. I get on stage, I do my thing, I get off stage, and General Steele from Smith & Wesson came up to me and was like, yo, you're like a one-man army out there. Like, it's just you. You don't have, he's like, I respect you. You don't have a hype man. You don't have a DJ. The reason why I didn't have a hype man or a DJ, though, is because I couldn't afford to pay a hype man and DJ on the salary that I was getting for this tour. So, that's the only reason why. But they respected that. And at that particular show, I had somebody that I was seeing at the time that came up to visit me in DC, and she took a bus from New York after work, bought me home cooked food, you know what I'm saying? And she turned out to be the woman that I have 2 kids with and my wife. So, you know what I'm saying? That was, one of my standout best moments ever, because later down the line when we hit California, she called me and told me, hey, I'm pregnant, we're having a kid. And so that definitely was the best time. I think staying relevant has been a big challenge, just because you have to be motivated still, man. Like, you have to keep up with what's going on. You have to know who's who, what's what, And some people don't like to do all of that work, And I love this music so much. It's like, I don't care what I have to do, to remain relevant, as long as it's not, sacrificing anything that I believe in. I was on tour with Craig G and Words and Punchline out in Europe, and we were doing the Art of Freestyle tour. That DVD is out. Go check it. It's a really dope DVD. So we were doing the tour for that, and this German kid came up to me, and he had to be like 18, 19. He said he had heard my album, Orange Moon Over Brooklyn, and the song Here inspired him to actually continue with his life and living. That he was at a point in his life where he was going to take his life. And he told me that he heard the album and he heard that song, and it gave him a boost to keep trying regardless of how fucked up he felt his life was. You know what I'm saying? That literally, it's hard to get a tear out of me, and that got a tear out of me, you know what I'm saying? And like, we spoke all night, and he's an amazing individual to overcome such a adversity as far as wanting to take your own life, because that's not easy, you know what I'm saying? And people go through depression every single day, you know what I'm saying? And I commend him. Even inspire somebody to not commit suicide is like, that's the only accolade I need in life. Just that I worked hard and that I was a humble individual, and, I wasn't trying to sell my soul to get a bigger piece of the pie, and that, I stayed at a ground level, by choice, because I could have easily, signed a record deal and been commercial and did all this other bullshit rap that you're hearing on the radio nowadays. You know, it's easy. That shit is simple shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just want people to know that I'm a sincere individual and that I remained humble. That's it, really.